F1 bosses just revealed what they think of Max Verstappen. Formula One team principals oversee the race activities of the teams across the tracks, and it is popularly assumed that they see everything and know everything. They are perhaps the most valid people to give any verdict on any driver following their gathered experience in the field. Max Verstappen has been admired by a number of Formula One team principals, and after emerging champion for the 2021 FIA season, the team principals are open to receiving more from the Dutchman. If you are just joining, subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bells to stay tuned to our channel. Many Formula One team principals witnessed Verstappen's virtuous rise in Formula One. Team principals were asked to give their thoughts on the just concluded season and who they held it up for. Many of them went in favour of Max Verstappen. While the champion only has a few years of experience to his name, the team principals all agree that he is fast. Matteo Binotto started with Ferrari from the 90s, after obtaining a bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering in 1994. In 1995, he joined Scuderia Ferrari in the engine department as a mechanic, and has been with the team since, growing from rank to rank. He has served in various capacities for the Formula One team and has raced against Hamilton for years. The Ferrari chief is quite experienced with the racing style of Hamilton and holds that Max has the qualities of any good driver, but tipped the last championship to Hamilton's favour. Binotto said, "Max is a talented driver. He is very talented, he is very fast, and I think he's a good boy. Always cheer for ourselves at Ferrari, but I also cheer for Max, because I think it's good for sport to break the status quo. It's an exciting battle. First of all, they are two extraordinary drivers and very talented. If I had to make a bet though, I think Lewis wins. I say this because Mercedes wins. They are a solid team, and they've shown what they are in recent years." Gunther Steiner. Gunther Steiner was a former director of Jaguar Racing before it was sold to Red Bull, who also served as technical operations director for the new team for a while. He is currently the team principal of the Haas Formula One team, and like all Red Bull supporters, he maintained that Verstappen and Red Bull had what it took to emerge winners of the champions. He says, "Red Bull is doing a good job, and it is possible for Red Bull to win. I think a lot of Max Verstappen especially. Regardless of his age, he has enough experience to be a champion, and he can do it. He also doesn't need to race as aggressively and attackingly again, because he has a really good car now." Gunther Steiner supported Max Verstappen for the title win last season, and affirmed his stance saying, "Max is the driver to beat. Why? Because he scores more points." Frederic Vasseur. Frederic Vasseur is known as a father in motorsports, having spent so much time in motorsports from karting to Formula One. He saw Max and Lewis grow up in motorsport. "I remember Max perfectly when he was racing go-karts, and he went directly to Formula 3 when he was strong. He has become stronger and stronger in Formula One. Maybe not in terms of raw pace, but in terms of everything else. He's a strong guy who gets the job done." When he was asked to give a verdict on who could win the championship, Vasseur mentioned, "It's difficult to know that. It's a very tight fight. Every single small event could decide the championship. But I will say Lewis to make it 1-1 with Gunther. I think he was able to manage this kind of situation in 2007 and 2008 at the beginning of his Mercedes journey. He is a competitor, and I have no fear for him. He will be a fighter until the end. It's difficult to know that. It's a very tight fight. But I think one of the topics is also reliability. This could be a game changer for the championship, because they are so close." Jost Capito. Capito had his first job in motorsport back in 1985, and has served in various teams, including Sauber, McLaren, and current Williams. Capito gave his remarks on the crash incident between Verstappen and Hamilton in Baku. He said, "I don't think it's absolutely right to look for someone to blame, especially when it's not clear. And it wasn't clear here. So you should say, okay, They are racing drivers, so let them drive. Jos Capito maintained that he is in a middle position when it comes to picking the better driver between Max and Lewis, and didn't pick a side. He shared his thoughts, saying, "It's part of racing. Things like this have happened in the past. If you had such an exciting battle for the title, something like this always happens during the season." Toto Wolff. Toto Wolff is perhaps the most impactful Mercedes team principal since he arrived from Williams in 2003. He has bagged 8 constructors' titles with the team. He arrived in the same year as Hamilton to Mercedes and is very fond of the driver. While he is a clear supporter of Lewis Hamilton, Toto believes Max Verstappen has done an enviable job. He said, "Max is also doing a fantastic job. He's probably driving better than the car he is actually capable of bringing. Max is definitely a fantastic star for the future. But he's not alone." When he was questioned on the title battle between Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen, Toto Wolff easily tilted towards Hamilton and said, "It's great that we have a fight between 2 outstanding drivers, and the championship has swung in both directions. Yes, we love the battle. It is just what the doctor ordered after the past 7 years." Christian Horner. Christian Horner started his racing career as a driver and evolved to become a manager. He has been with Red Bull since 2005, clutching 4 constructors' titles to his name. Horner also lauds Max Verstappen for his performance, and in the 2021 season praised the Dutchman for winning in a lesser-performing car than the Mercedes. He has no doubt if Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen were in the same car, the latter would come out at the top. You can't deny anything Lewis has achieved. He is one of the absolute greats and statistically the most successful in history. But if you put Max and Lewis in that Mercedes car, and I have no doubt who would come out on top. Put Lewis in our car, and I also have no doubt who would come out on top. With Max, anything is possible. Max has wrung every ounce of performance out of this car this year, and since the summer and Mercedes' upturn in speed, it has been Max who has kept us in this championship, the way he has driven. He's been absolutely outstanding. I think we've just given him a better car, and he's made great use of it. He's finished every race either first or second bar one, where he had his car missing in Budapest, and the statistics talk for themselves. The amount of laps that he's led, the pole positions, the race victories. He's been outstanding, and so few mistakes under massive pressure. I think what you forget is the amount of pressure that's been building and building through the championship, and the way as a young man that he's dealt with and coped with that has been inspirational. There is no doubt that Max has been inspirational the past year, clutching his first title 7 years after he entered Formula One as the youngest driver in 2015. Beyond doubts, the young Dutchman has shown he's capable of speed and attacking on tracks. While some may have their reservations about the driver, it is safe to say he has undoubtedly broken the status quo of Formula One, and the team principals agree. According to his debut Formula One championship, Max Verstappen also topped the best driver of the year among team principals, with 213 points in the team boss's top 10 drivers of the year. He led the second position with 21 points. Conclusion. Did you agree with the view of these team principals? If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and share the video with your friends. If you haven't subscribed, hit subscribe and ring the bell right beside it to get notifications.